This is going to be somber because it's the Vol Report with former Vol Cooper Mays. That does not sound right, does it?
No, no, it doesn't. That's the first time I've been called that.
Yeah, I can remember your dad back in the day being at a remote and calling him that when his career was just done. So, just kind of your thoughts on the emotions of the season. There were ups and downs. As a whole, though, the trajectory has been fantastic during your career. Just your thoughts on what you guys did this year.
Definitely, definitely not the ending that we wanted. Obviously, that's probably been the most recent thing that probably everybody's thought. But overall, like, really, really special. Like what's been done in the last few years here at Tennessee. In my time here, been really cool to be a part of it and see it all unfold. Like truly special.
Well, and it appears to be, I don't know the leaders as well as you, but the younger guys that are leaders right now, they appear to have a solid foundation in which you can hand it off to.
That's yeah, I agree. I think that was the goal, and kind of that's what we wanted. I think we kind of accomplished it.
Are there any of those young guys, the freshmen and sophomores that you've seen? Because you called out Dylan Sampson as a leader early on. Any of those guys you've seen early that you think can step up and be leaders?
I think AC, Arion Carter. I think he's a strong young guy. T Lander as well, Jeremiah. So they're in the same position group. So um, yeah, I think those two guys are really strong that I've seen. It's hard to really make a true impact as a leader as a young guy, but
Mhm.
those are two guys. They had great people to look up to in their room. So it's helped them out a lot for sure.
I don't want this to sound like I'm criticizing T Lander because I'm not, but how significant was maybe the drop off from Peely to T Lander when Peely got hurt?
I'm not really sure. We don't really watch the defense at all, like even in film or like on the game, like during the game, because we're making adjustments and stuff. So I mean, I wouldn't think there would be much. I practiced against both of them, and I know they're both very good players. So obviously Keenan probably has a little bit more um, veteran knowledge or something. I don't know how to describe it, but maybe a little bit of growing there for T Lander because he's such a young guy. But T Lander's on a great trajectory for sure.
Yep, I agree with that as well. And I look at this defense too in the second level. How much better is it at that linebacker position than when you got to Tennessee?
Um, how much better is it? I don't know. I'm trying to think back to. I mean, when I first got here, we had strong. Honestly, the whole time I've been here, we've had really strong linebackers, from what I can remember from Henry Toto my freshman year, um, JB Jeremy Banks, and then I don't know. It's kind of seemed like um, a continued success at that position from my time here, and I think that kind of speaks volumes to how they recruit. I think they recruit the right way, for sure.
And then the defensive line, considered one of the best defensive lines in the nation. What did you think about their progression this year? I know you don't watch defense, but you go against them in practice. So just the constant relentlessness that they come at you with because of depth. Thought they played pretty well this year.
Yeah, definitely one of the premier units in all of college football. They just do such great things for having so many guys rotating. With the depth they have, that means everybody's always going to be fresh. Theoretically, I mean, obviously nobody's going to always be fresh. You're going to get tired throughout the drive, but I mean, nobody's going to be super overworked. So, um, for them, what they do, like the amount of havoc they cause, and how they can get to the passer, like super special.
Yep. And if there was one offensive lineman, you can even name yourself if you want, but that took the biggest step during this year and maybe the off season, who might that be?
Um, I'd have to say probably Andre
Okay.
Cottage. Like I didn't get to see Lance last year, and all those other guys have already been starters that played and kind of knew kind of where they were. So for Andre to make such an impact, starting every game and playing the grand majority of the snaps. I think probably him.
What does it say about Lance's perseverance that he didn't get off to the greatest start? We all saw that, but he got better seemingly every week.
For sure. I think Lance is a really good player, and um, sometimes it's when you're not all the way healthy and not at your best, it's hard to play at your best, especially as a young guy. So for him to battle through stuff and get back and play and get better each week, while fighting to get better and better. Um, really, really great kid, but really good football player as well, for sure.
If you had to pick one word to describe Tennessee's offensive line this year, what would it be? The Vol Report with Cooper Mays brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. Just one come to mind, Coop?
Um, Man, I don't really I don't know. That's a great question. You really.
I was actually, it's a word I used earlier. I was going to say relentless because early in the season there were some issues here and there, but you guys just kept coming. I thought you took a step every week.
That's I was trying to go for a word like progression or something like that. I don't know. I mean, that seems pretty underwhelming for a word, to summarize the whole year. But like kind of what you said, I thought we got better each week. Wasn't perfect and knew it wasn't going to be perfect, but knew we had to take steps to get to where we wanted to go. And I think we started doing that and got better each week, and it gave us a chance for sure.
How would you describe the really young guys on the offensive line, like Larry Johnson, the third, I believe? He's played a couple of games this year. And I know that you really like, is it Michael Whiteside at backup center to you?
No, William Satterwhite.
William Satterwhite, excuse me.
Um, I think those guys are both, have a chance to be really good, really special players. Larry, on one hand, he's like 6'7", like 330 or 340 or something like that, and super super big and physically gifted, and blessed. But Sat's more of kind of guy like me, like a little bit more undersized, but scrappy and athletic and gets the position and how to play it. So I think he'll do really well, and I feel confident in those guys for sure.
Is the depth where it needs to be, Coop?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, when you're getting rid of every single starter in the same year, it's not going to be ever ideal, like how you want it to look on paper. But I'm sure by the time we roll back around near fall camp, I think it'll look right.
When you look back at your season, just personally, playing your position at center, what do you take away from this year as an area that you took a major step in?
Man, I would say pass pro. I did a lot better, especially being like one on one on an island. Like I think the coaching staff felt really comfortable with me being by myself, a good majority of the time, and um, that's not really common for a center. Like that doesn't really happen very much. I don't think a lot of people keep it up that way. So I would say that was a big area of growth, just being by myself and being comfortable there, in a lot of situations, run and pass, and then. Um, I would say just health and consistency. Kind of just everything I did. Kind of I felt was like consistent. You know.
Coop, how different is preparing for the NFL draft and doing the various workouts for that and just preparing for a football game?
Well, for a football game, like a game week, is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, it's almost like two different sports, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Well, you don't practice in pre-draft stuff. Like it's just doing drills and working out and getting your body into the best shape to perform at the combine, for pre-draft training. So you have no wear and tear on your body really. Like all it is just building it up to its best, and then yeah. So the workload's a lot different. No hitting or doing any of that football stuff really.
Is
Totally
there
different.
I'm curious, is there a number anywhere, whether it's bench, vertical, long jump, whatever, 40 that you specifically maybe have as a goal as you prepare for the Tennessee's pro day?
Not really. No, I'll have to get out there and kind of see where my benchmark test will be, and not bench press, like where I'm at on everything. So um, we'll see.
You,
It'll TBD to be
yeah,
determined. Sure.
you can get 225, 22 and a half times. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I used to do more than that in high school. I don't know how. We'll see how strong I get. I don't know.
That's a lot of weight. 22 and a half
It is.
times. What's the
Yeah,
most
it's a
you done
lot.
225, you think?
I think I hit like 24, 25 in high school, like my senior year. But I was not like full body, but like bench press and stuff. I was probably stronger back then than right now. But I'm like, after a whole season, you're not very strong anyway. So
Um, do you look at the draft? I know you always focus on yourself, but you look at the draft and see what other centers might be available because it is a unique position.
yeah, I kind of kept up with it more now than I ever have, for obvious reasons. But um, yeah. I guess I don't know what else I was gonna say, but yeah, I do.
Well, how do you? I mean, you don't have to give me any names or specifically where you feel like you stack up. Do you feel like you stack up pretty good against the other centers?
Man, me personally, like, I think so. Like, I don't know how draft analysts and stuff think. I know I'm probably not like the prettiest prospect in the world, but I think I bring a lot of good to the table, and a lot of value wherever I'll go, and I think I'll do good things wherever I land.
Well, you guys look good and pretty and showing off some skin at the beginning of the game on Saturday. Can you talk about that and the decision to go shirtless in pregame warmups?
Yeah, no, I mean, I went shirtless during like we do warm ups in like at the hotel
Mhm.
before, so we did like a little walkthrough outside at like 10 a.m. So I did that shirtless just to kind of like make sure, like, if I knew if I could go out there shirtless at 10 a.m., then I'd be fine for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've already
Yeah.
done the worst of it, so I did that, and then kind of everybody wanted to do it and in the stadium at pregame, and I was like, well, if other people are gonna do it, I'm not about to, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to run out there with my sweatshirt on. That's definitely not like, I'm not about to be that guy. So I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. A lot of people were wearing Vaseline. I didn't wear no Vaseline. I just took it on the
Like
chin, or
like
took it on the
Ice
chest,
Cube,
I guess.
like Ice Cube said, no Vaseline back in the day. But
That's one thing for
the,
sure.
Coop, the way that game played out, what are your emotions coming away from that? You still have a lot accomplished this season, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, disappointed. Like, obviously, nobody's gonna be happy with the result of that game for sure. Like, I don't really know. It wasn't our night, and they did a really good job, and it was a really great environment to play in. Like, I knew that was gonna be how it was going in. They just, they man, they won
Yeah.
convincingly.
I think the fan base was dismayed that the game wasn't at Neyland Stadium. Was that a topic of conversation for you guys at all?
No, it really wasn't. I mean, we don't really care where we play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know it's like a soundbite, like anytime, any place, or anywhere, or whatever. But like, I mean, I think anybody that's a real competitor feels that same way.
Dylan Sampson headed the NFL. Let's say an NFL scout comes to you during pro day and says, "Tell me something about Dylan Sampson. Give me a story that shows his leadership." What story are you telling him?
Oh man, I go back. I mean, I don't know if it doesn't really show his leadership, but I would go back to the story I was telling you, like how I knew he was going to be special, like how he came in the first day out, and knew all the plays, all the signals, and was calling all of it for us, and that really spoke volumes to me. Like, that shows what kind of character you are and what kind of kid you are. Like, it's really, that's not common at all. So, um, that kind of shows the type of kid he is, like, elite.
Great. The Vol Report brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. For Cooper Mays, I'm Dave Hooker, a presentation of Off the Hook Sports.